All right, good morning, everyone. We are today's Friday, and yeah, we're continuing with our course, grade 11. I had a question on when is midterms. So just if you have any questions, usually obviously ask me, email me, whatever. But the first thing that you can do is always check the course outline. And here we have midterm marks confirmed by students on August 11th, which I believe is a Monday, and then they're finalized by 3 p.m. that day. So if there's any issues with your mark that you feel that there's something wrong or it's any issues, then you gotta email me or let me know before or on by August 11th. All right, so let's start now. Today is what's the date today? August 8th. It's Friday, August 8th. And yeah, so to explain this a little bit more, one-time credit rescue. What does that mean? That means if you received a 0 on either one of the assignments or quizzes or any of the quizzes, meaning you did not submit it by the deadline, you would have received a 0. You have one opportunity to submit to improve your mark so that your current mark of 0 on that assignment or quiz can be improved to a maximum of 50. Meaning if you were to now complete your assignment, one task or assignment, two tasks, even if you get 100% on it, the maximum mark you can receive is 50%, because technically you deserve a 0 because you didn't do it. But as a credit rescue, you can get up to 50%. Now, this needs to be completed by, this says tomorrow, this was posted yesterday, so tonight by 11:59 p.m. If you do not submit your work by tonight, then that 0 mark stays and there's nothing you can do to change it now. Hopefully that makes sense to most of you now. All right, let us continue. Today is Friday, August 8th. We are working on these things, and you need to do your Unit 3 task. Unit 3 task is under the assignments section. So please go to assignments and go to Unit 3, and you'll see that there is a task there. Pretty straightforward. Same way we've been submitting everything thus far. So yeah, let's continue now. Problem solving with quadratics. Today's agenda. Lines on activity, learning goals, criteria, solving problems, tasks, and then questions. Lines on exploring graphs of quadratics. So here's some key things that you should know, some key points on a graph of a quadratic. So your quadratic graph looks like a parabola, which is like a U shape. And whenever that U shape intersects the x-axis at these red dots here, that is called the x-intercept, also known as solutions. There's actually 4 words you can use to describe these points: x-intercepts, solutions, zeros, and roots. All 4 are interchangeable. So if on a test or a quiz or whatever, any question you get is asking for solutions, roots, zeros, or x-intercepts, they mean the exact same thing. Then we have the vertex. Most students, I think, understand the vertex, that point in the middle there. Either the maximum point or the minimum point, depending on which direction the parabola is opening, up or down. In this case, the parabola is opening up, so this would be considered a minimum point. It's the lowest point on that graph. Y-intercept is whenever the parabola intersects the y-axis, and the axis of symmetry is this dashed line that splits the parabola into its 2 halves. All right, learning goals. You'll solve problems related to the maximum and minimum values of a parabola. We're going to identify key points and their significance, and we're going to use graphing software to graph a parabola. Problem solving, let's practice. On a rainy day, you profit P in dollars of an umbrella seller can be modeled by the equation, and then there's the equation, where X dollars is the price of an umbrella. So P is the profit, X is the price of the umbrella. So what should be the price to maximize today's profit, and what is the maximum profit? Very simple question here. Whenever they're talking about maximum or minimum, the question is basically asking you to solve for the vertex point. So how do we find the vertex point? Well, this question made it very easy for us because this is in vertex form. And if you remember, if you have an equation in vertex form, the vertex is at the coordinates h, comma, k. H being obviously your x value and k being your y coordinate when you graph this. All we really need to do is take a look at h and k in this equation, and h is this right here and k is this one right here. Remember though, h is always the opposite sign of what's written in the equation there. So h is equal to 10 in this example, and k is 300. So h has to do with your x value, so it's going to be the dollars of price of an umbrella. So what should the price be to maximize the day's profit? Well, the price should be $10. You are expected to write a sentence statement at the end of these word problems. I will not be doing that right now. What is the maximum profit? Well, that would be your y coordinate or your k value. Maximum profit will be $300. And you should write the price to maximize the day's profit should be $10. There'll be 2 sentences there. And that's it. Very, very simple. That's all you really need to do. Let's move on. Here we have the equation given, and it models the height h meters of a baseball t seconds after it is thrown. So t is in seconds, time usually, and h is height, and that's in meters. Important, because when you're doing word problems, you need to write the units in your final answer. If you are missing units, you're 100% I'm telling you right now, you're not getting full marks. You're losing a lot of marks, actually. What is the maximum height of the ball? Once again, maximum, that keyword there, we are looking for the vertex. In this case, my h value is 1, not -1, +1. And my k value is 7.5. Now, h value corresponds with my t, my time, and my k value corresponds with my height, h. So what is the maximum height of the ball? Maximum height, max height will be 7.5 meters. Some students might say maximum height will be 1 meters because they think, oh, h is the 1. Now, be very careful which one you relate to which one. You have to know what they're talking about, h and k. And how long does it take the ball to reach the maximum height? it takes the ball 1 second to reach max height. So, okay, once again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If the question has given you the formula in vertex form, there's really no calculations needed to be done. All you need to do is just read the h and k values. You're good to go. Here we have the exact same equation. Now we have write an equivalent equation in standard form. From what height is the ball thrown? How do you know? So now we have 2 extra questions from the previous example. They're asking us to write this equation in standard form. We did this yesterday. Basically, you need to expand the equation given. And expand means to multiply. And t minus 1 times t minus 1 plus 7.5. See, t minus 1 squared, anything squared just means you're multiplying it by itself. For example, like, 7 squared is just 7 times 7, right? And then you can easily do that multiplication. It's 49. So just like that, I'm going to split that bracket into actual 2 brackets, multiplying one another because it's easier. You see what's happening. And I'm going to use that method that we learned yesterday. So we have -5. Don't forget that -5. And that's going to stay outside the bracket initially. We're just going to deal with the 2 brackets here. T times t is t squared. T times -1 is -1t, or minus t. -1 times t is also minus t. And -1 times -1 is +1. Don't forget that plus 7.5 as well. Now, I'm going to take a look at this and say, well, you know what? I know minus t and minus t are like terms. And it's basically like -1 -1. The answer is -2t. You can combine those like terms. Now it's a very simple multiplication like this. That's going to be -5t squared plus 10t minus 5. The final step is to now add, or rather collect like terms, and then you're just going to add or subtract the numbers at the end there. Plus 2.5. That's the answer. H is equal to -5t squared plus 10t plus 2.5. And we've completed question C. What about D? From what height is the ball thrown? How do you know? So here they're asking us the initial height of the ball. So the height could be 0. It's possible that the height the ball is thrown from the ground. It goes like this. But what's most likely is the person is either standing up, maybe standing on a hill or something, or just their height, right? Like usually you're not crawling on the ground throwing a ball, you're standing straight up. So the ball's height is not 0, it's not on the ground, it's wherever your hands are, wherever you throw it from. So maybe it looks something like this. That means there's an initial height, and that initial height